was asked yesterday by Bob Marley Luke, and I get asked quite often by different people, how to tell the difference between a Heavy Sixer and a standard six-switcher Woody Atari 2600. So I figured I would do a video to answer that question, because, as I said, I do get asked quite a lot, and the differences are subtle. It is easy to be confused or misled. Please excuse the purple octopuses. I just like purple octopuses. Okay, the most obvious difference is here, the casing, and I'm trying to find an angle that will show it adequately. This is thick. On the Heavy Sixer you've got a very thick piece of casing, runs all the way along there, where on this, and this is a Vader obviously, but the shape of the casing is exactly the same as on a standard 6-switch Woody. Ignore the fact that this is black, just pretend it's wood grain. Ignore the fact you've only got 4 switches, pretend you've got 6. It's the same. The way to tell the difference can be shown by looking at this. So, this here, and I'm trying not to get into my own light, very, very thin piece of casing, and then about a ½ centimetre gap before your plastic ridges here. Whereas here, you've got about 1 centimetre of casing here before your ½ centimetre gap and your ridges there. That is the biggest giveaway. I can't really show it effectively with this lighting, which is a shame, but I think you can probably see that. That probably shows it as well. It's all to do with that. There are other differences. Ignoring again that that is black, the front of this is the same as a normal 6-switcher. This here it runs in a straight line. That bottom edge, straight line. Then you look at this, and there is a curve along here. It's subtle, but it's there. If you look at them side by side, you can probably see the difference. So this lens seems to add a bit of curvature, but there is a distinct curve here. Also, if I can get close without blurring too much, there's a gap between the outer casing and the wood grain there, probably 1/4 centimetre, maybe ½ centimetre, give or take. Gap between that and that, where if you look at this, there is no gap anywhere around that, where this, the gap runs all the way around it. Also, this curve here, that is a much nicer, rounder curve, where this, it's like a very small, just sharp, sudden, you know, it's like you're going horizontal, there's a sudden turn and then it's going up at a diagonal, where this is much nicer and more rounded. Other than that, I mean, the biggest difference, and you can't tell this, you can't gauge it when looking at a picture on eBay, is if you pick this thing up, it weighs a ton, and you pick this thing up, and it really doesn't. So, I mean, if you're in a shop and you're not sure, pick it up. If it's heavy, and you'll know if it's a Heavy Sixer by the weight. You might think, oh, I've got nothing to compare it to. You don't need to. That's heavy, that's not. I mean, that's getting on for bag of sugar kind of weight, you know, where that's perhaps a box of tea bags. Yeah. But really, just look at that edge. If you see any photos, that's the thing to look for. If you're looking at a photo where they are obscuring that and not really letting you see any of the close-up details, don't touch it. They're trying to con you. I've seen it on eBay loads of times. They're like, look, rare Heavy Sixer, and they're not showing this. They know what they've got. They know it's not a Heavy Sixer. Don't fall into the trap. On the other hand, you do get some people who don't know what they've got. I bought this for an absolute bargain price because they didn't know it was a Heavy Sixer, and no one else who was looking knew that it was a Heavy Sixer. So it really is worth knowing the difference, and well, I hope I demonstrated that well enough to be of some assistance. Thank you for watching. This and videos of other retro games in my collection and a video of my console and computer collection can be found on my YouTube channel, along with a link to my website retrogamingcollector.com, so take a look at that if you've got nothing better to do. Thank you for watching.